Imagine it, humanity's most powerful weapon, aimed not at a city, not at the surface, but at the beating heart of our planet, the Earth's inner core. What would happen if we detonated a nuclear bomb inside it? Would the planet split in half? Would life end instantly? Or would something even stranger occur? Stay with me, because the answer is far more terrifying and surprising than you might think. Before we can understand what happens, we need to know what we're talking about. The inner core is a solid ball of iron and nickel, about 1,220 kilometers wide. It's hotter than the surface of the sun, reaching up to 5,400 degrees Celsius. It's surrounded by the molten outer core, and together, they generate Earth's magnetic field, the invisible shield that protects us from deadly solar radiation. Without it, life on Earth wouldn't exist. So, if you mess with the core, you're not just poking the planet, you're poking the very thing that keeps us alive. The first problem? Getting a nuke to the core is practically impossible. The deepest hole humans have ever drilled, the Kola super deep borehole in Russia, reached only about 12 kilometers down. That's 0.3% of the way to the core. Temperatures and pressures become so extreme that no drill, no machine, and no human could survive the journey. But let's say for this thought experiment that we somehow tunnel all the way down and drop in a nuke. A standard nuclear warhead wouldn't even scratch the inner core. The Tsar Bomba, the most powerful nuke ever detonated, had a yield of 50 megatons, but to do any real damage to the core, we'd need something millions of times more powerful. That's not just science fiction, that's science nightmare. We're talking about a detonation so massive that even building it could kill us before we ever fired it. Here's where things get scary. The moment we detonate such a bomb, the heat and pressure would cause an unimaginable shockwave inside the planet. But the inner core is already under such extreme pressure, about 3.6 million atmospheres, that it wouldn't simply explode like a rock in space. Instead, the energy would ripple outward through the outer core, creating massive seismic events that would make every earthquake in history look like a whisper. These seismic waves wouldn't just shake cities, they'd reverberate through the entire planet, causing the crust to fracture in places it never had before. Supervolcanoes like Yellowstone could erupt. Entire tectonic plates could shift suddenly. Imagine tsunamis hundreds of meters high slamming into coastlines all over the world, simultaneously. And that's just the first few hours. Here's the part that could doom us in the long term. The movement of molten iron in the outer core is what creates our magnetic field. If we disrupt that, and that's even slightly, the shield could weaken or vanish. That would mean deadly cosmic radiation bombarding the surface. Electronics would fry, satellites would fail. And over time, Earth's atmosphere would be stripped away, just like what happened to Mars billions of years ago. Now to the big question. Would the Earth actually crack open? Probably not in the Hollywood sense, or no giant fiery split down the middle. But what could happen is worse. The crust could destabilize so much that parts of it collapse inward, creating planet-wide sinkholes and magma floods. The oceans could boil from the heat of rising magma. The surface might become a patchwork of scorched wastelands and collapsing continents. But there's an even darker possibility. Something scientists call a runaway core reaction. If the nuke triggered uncontrolled changes in the outer core's motion, the magnetic field might flip violently. This could cause global electrical storms, radiation surges, and possibly even throw the planet's rotation off balance. And if the balance shifts too far, Earth could literally tip over on its axis, creating a new North Pole and South Pole in different places. Even if life survived the initial catastrophe, Earth's climate and ecosystems would be destroyed. The collapse of the magnetic field would allow constant radiation to rain down, mutating DNA and wiping out species. Over thousands or millions of years, life might evolve again, but it wouldn't be human. The descendants of whatever survived would live on a planet unrecognizable to us, with continents in new positions, seas boiled away, and skies filled with strange colors from the radiation storms. In short, we wouldn't split the planet in two, but we'd doom it to centuries, maybe millennia, of chaos and death. The inner core isn't just the center of our planet. It's the engine that keeps it alive. Nuking it wouldn't just kill billions, it would end the world as we know it. So maybe the real question isn't what would happen if we nuked the core, but why on earth would we ever even think about it? If you enjoyed exploring this terrifying what if, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Because next time, we're diving into something even more unbelievable. You won't want to miss it.